Since COVID-19, a lot has changed. The world isn't the same anymore, and not in a good way. Everything feels gray, colorless, and dull. But here's the thing. So did we. Somewhere along the way, we collectively lost our spark. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably feel it too. Every new year we hear the same thing. Next year will be my year. For real this time. Except it wasn't. Not in 2023, not in 2024, and it won't be in 2025 either, unless you force it to be. So give me 7 minutes and I'll make sure you actually lock in this year. But before we start, a quick disclaimer. I'm not here to motivate you. Motivation is a sugar rush. It wears off fast, and I'm not selling candy. I'm here to give you the tools, perspective, and wake-up call you need to actually take control of your life. Now, I won't be too hard on you. I know you've been trying, or at least you think you have. Maybe you started a fitness plan but quit after 2 weeks because life got busy. Maybe you set goals, but they were vague enough to be ignored, like, I want to be better. Better at what? Breathing? You've been doing that since birth. The truth is, trying isn't enough if you're half-assing it. You're not failing because life is unfair, although, yeah, sometimes it is. You're failing because you're waiting for life to magically align itself with your vibes. But it won't. You're the one who has to align yourself with your goals. And that starts with the most valuable resource you have, your time. How often do you say, I don't have time? That's funny because you had time to scroll TikTok for 3 hours yesterday. You had time to re-watch that same show for the 4th time because it's cinematic masterpiece. You had time to stare at the ceiling, thinking about how you have no time. Let's do some math. You have 24 hours in a day. Sleep? Let's say you get 8 hours, if you're lucky. Work or college? Another 8 hours. Eating, commuting, existing? Let's call it 2 hours. That still leaves you with 6 hours. Now ask yourself, what are you doing with them? If you can't answer without stuttering, you've found your problem. We live in an era where you can learn literally anything for free, or close to it. Want to start a business? There are tutorials, templates, and even AI tools that will guide you step by step. Want to get fit? There are free apps, YouTube channels, and online communities to hold you accountable. Want to learn a skill? Platforms like Coursera, Skillshare, or even TikTok, if you follow the right creators, have you covered. Your phone isn't the enemy. You are. It's a tool. But if you treat it like a toy, it'll treat you like a joke. But even then, tools are just tools. They're useless without a plan. And that's where most people fail. Saying, I want to save money is cute, but what's your actual plan? Are you tracking expenses? Automating savings? Or are you just hoping your bank account will surprise you like an exam you forgot about? The same goes for fitness, learning, relationships, everything. Goals are meaningless without systems. Systems make you show up even when you don't feel like it. They're the boring routines that actually get results. The meal preps, the study schedules, the workout plans, they separate the people who achieve from the people who talk about achieving. And let's talk about the grind for a second. Because most of what will make you successful isn't exciting. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's waking up early to work out when you'd rather sleep. It's saying no to plans so you can study. It's putting in effort when no one's clapping for you. The grind isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to feel necessary. The sooner you stop expecting every step to be fun, the sooner you'll start seeing results. Of course, grinding doesn't mean ignoring opportunities. The world is evolving, and you need to be aware of what's in front of you. We're living in the most resource-rich era of all time. There's no excuse for being ignorant or stagnant. Want to make more money? There are countless ways to do it. Want to learn coding, public speaking, drawing, video editing, or even talking to people without being awkward? Free tutorials exist. You're not struggling because there's a lack of opportunities. You're struggling because you're not grabbing them. Watching self-improvement videos isn't the same as actually improving yourself. You might be watching this video, nodding along, thinking, yeah, that makes sense. But are you actually putting in the work? Or are you just a passive consumer of inspiration? And then there's the idea of balance. People love talking about work-life balance as if it's this perfect equation. But here's the truth. Balance is overrated. If you want something badly enough, you'll have to let other things slide. That doesn't mean burning out, but it does mean prioritizing like your life depends on it. Because, in a way, it does. You won't achieve your goals by squeezing them into the cracks of your schedule. They need to be front and center, not an afterthought. And that brings us to one final question. Are you really trying? Because it's easy to say you're trying, but are you actually committed? There's a difference between effort and consistent effort. One gets you temporary results. The other transforms your life. Be honest with yourself. If you're not where you want to be, is it really because the world is against you? Or is it because you haven't gone all in? I'm not saying this as someone who has it all figured out. I don't. But I do know this. I'm the best version of myself that I've ever been. And that's because I stopped waiting for life to hand me success. I started forcing it. So, if I could do that, what's stopping you? This isn't some feel-good motivational speech. I won't end this by saying something cheesy like, "You've got this." Because, honestly, you might not have this. That's up to you. But what I can say is this. If you decide to lock in, like really lock in, 2025 will be the year you stop saying, "Next year will be my year," and start saying, "This year is mine." The world isn't going to fix itself for you, but you can fix yourself. And maybe, just maybe, that'll bring some color back to everything else too. So, are you in? Or are we having the same conversation next year?